discussed the West Philippine Sea, as well as a historic nuclear cooperation deal during their own talks on the sidelines of the APEC summit. In a statement by the White House, Harris welcomes the swift conclusion of the negotiations for the 123 agreement, which were launched while she was in Manila last year. The White House adds that this agreement will provide the legal basis for U.S. exports of nuclear equipment and material to the Philippines, which will support American workers and businesses. Marcos mentioned that he and U.S. Vice President Harris talked about issues in the West Philippine Sea following recent encounters with China in disputed waters. The 8th batch of Filipino repatriates from Israel is expected to arrive in the country today. The Migrant Workers Department says that this latest batch of OFWs include 8 hotel workers, 24 caregivers, and 1 baby. The group is expected to arrive in Naiya this afternoon. In total, over 150 Filipinos have already been repatriated from Israel. The DMW notes, though, that some OFWs have chosen to remain in Israel despite heightened tensions in the country. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Watching One News now, I'm Diego Castro. Manufacturers of canned sardines said that retail prices of sardines could see an increase starting next year. The Canned Sardines Association of the Philippines explained that this is due to increases in oil prices. They also mentioned that prices of tamban, the fish used in making sardines, has increased. Manufacturers said, though, that they will wait until after Christmas and New Year before implementing any additional price increase on sardines. Meanwhile, the price of galunggong has now reached 320 pesos in wet markets. This is higher than the 280 pesos price ahead of the closed fishing season for galunggong, which began on November 1. Authorities are looking at a family dispute as a possible motive behind the gruesome shooting of a couple inside a bus in Nueva Ecija Wednesday. The son of one of the victims is in fact eyed as a person of interest in the case. Juan Gualvez with the story.
This man and woman were seated at the front seats of this bus traversing Caranglan, Nueva Ecija. The two were asleep when these two men walked down the aisle and told the driver that they are getting off the bus. But as they were beside the two passengers in front, the suspects drew out their gun and shot them dead. The crime is too brutal that our team decided not to show the actual shooting in full. The two victims died on the spot. The suspect shouted at the driver to open the doors.
Buksan mo! Buksan mo! Buksan mo! Buksan mo! Buksan mo na! Ang tagal mo? Ayaw mo buksan? Buksan mo! Buksan mo!
Once the suspects got out of the bus, the driver sped off to report the incident. Inside, the other passengers can be heard crying. According to authorities, the victims are in a relationship but both already have respective families. They took the bus from Kawayan Isabela headed for Tarlac. 3 hours into the trip, the suspects got on board in Mayumbong, Nueva Vizcaya. Another 2 hours passed before the shooting that eventually took place in Caranglan, Nueva Ecija. Witnesses said that once the gunmen got off the bus, they immediately headed to a nearby river and disappeared into the mountains. Authorities are now looking into why the victims chose to commute to Tarlac for a supposed jewelry deal when they both own private vehicles. Police said the two may be trying to avoid someone.
Well executed yung pagkagagawa nila, sinabayan nila sa sasakyan at saka bumaba sila doon sa lugar kung saan hindi sila madetect ng mga kapulisan. Lalong-lalo na doon sa sinasabi natin na parting may ilog.
The Nueva Ecija police continues its backtracking and profiling of the suspects. Authorities are also looking at the personal motive, and one of the possible persons of interest in the case is the woman victim's own child. A document obtained by News 5 showed that the victim filed cases against her own child for robbery and kidnapping. Her child was arrested but eventually released on bail. Her sister confirmed that their mother had also been receiving death threats. Another relative of the woman victim confirmed this conflict.
Simula nung galing na ng Canada, parang hindi na yata sila okay yung anak niya. Hindi sila nag-uusap, di ba? Ang pamilya kailangan nandun yung bonding, di ba? Hindi ko na nakikita yun.
The police continues its manhunt for the two gunmen. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Philippine vet Michelle D makes it to the top 10 of the Miss Universe Voice for Change video competition.
10 silver finalists. Ready? Philippines.
The Voice for Change competition aims to highlight advocacies of Miss Universe candidates. Michelle's video focused on raising awareness for autism. Michelle joined silver finalists Miss Angola, Brazil, Chile, Lebanon, Puerto Rico, Singapore, South Africa, Ukraine, and Zimbabwe. The 3 gold winners will be announced during the coronation ceremony on Sunday morning, Philippine time. Michelle also stunned in the preliminary competition, where she worked her parasela in a red-hot swimsuit. In the evening gown competition, Miss Philippines strutted the stage in a regal green gown by Mark Baumgartner. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.